my fellow Skyrim players. Welcome to the Master Spell of Masterful Magic Ritual Masters. Mastery. Looking around, I didn't see too many video guides on this, and since I've now tried them all, some of them were kind of a pain, so I wish to spare you some grief. I decided to put a little index in here. If you want to skip to that part of the video, just click whichever one on that list right there. I want to let you guys know that if you do not have the unofficial Skyrim patch, the illusion and destruction ritual spells will require level 100 instead of level 90. If you do have the patch, all of them require level 90. Okay, let's begin. Going alphabetically, we begin with Alteration. Being at the College of Winterhold should be understood by now. Go to the Hall of Attainment and talk to Tolfdir, and ask him if there's anything more you can learn about Alteration. He says he wants to improve on the Ebony Flesh spell, but in order for it to be made, he needs dragon heart scales that can only be taken from a dragon with Kabozin's Fang, a dagger that you can attain in Forelhost. It's on the mountains southeast of Riften, and when you arrive, you will meet somebody who gives you optional objectives. And since you're going in anyways, you might as well do them. When you go inside, you're looking for a well. If you're good at picking master locks, you can bypass this. If you want the key, look for a large room guarded by Draugr, and it's inside the chest in that room. Make your way back to the well, open the door, go for a little swim, and make your way to the dragon door. The combination is Fox, Owl, Snake. You will find yourself in a large room and have a face-off against a dragon priest. Once you defeat him, loot the chest, and you will find the dagger within. The second part is finding a dragon. There's usually a couple flying around Riften. When you defeat one, equip the knife and loot the corpse, and you will receive the heart scales. Bring them back to Tolfdir, and there's the Alteration Mastery quest. He rewards you with Dragon Hide, which allows the caster to resist 80% of all physical damage, and now you are also able to purchase Mass Paralysis, in which all enemies in the area of effect may be paralyzed for 15 seconds. Next up is Conjuration. In the college, find Finis Gester and ask him what else you can learn about Conjuration magic. He says to learn something more, you'll have to summon an unbound Dremora. Great thing about this quest is you don't have to go very far. He gives you the summoning spell, and also the location to summon the unbound Dremora, the rooftop of the Hall of Attainment. So head up to the roof, equip the Summon Unbound Dremora spell, and you are met by an ill-tempered Dremora. The objective is to force him to submit and get a sigil stone. I believe this takes 3 tries, and each time he is summoned he has a different weapon, as if it's going to do him any good against a mage. After a few tries he finally submits, and once you command him to go get you a sigil stone, he asks that you summon him again, and he will have the sigil stone for you. Bring the sigil stone back to Finis Gestor, and he'll remind you that you weren't getting the stone for him, you were getting it for yourself. He just wants to borrow it. He does a little experiment on the stone to gain what knowledge he needs, and then he hands it back to you. He also gives you the Flame Thrall spell. Allows you to summon a permanent Flame Atronach until it is killed. Also available for sale is the Dead Thrall spell, which reanimates a dead body permanently, and it won't turn to ash when killed. Respectively, the other 2 spells are Frost and Storm Thrall. They are also permanent Atronachs. If you're a true Master Conjurer, you could have 2 of these at a time defending you, or just have 2 pack mules. The next and most drawn out is the Destruction Ritual quest. Find Feralda in the college. Ask her if there's any more to learn, and she will hand you a book called Power of the Elements. Within the book you will find a riddle, and the riddle goes as follows. Northward, haunted northern coastline, and south dwemer live in toil. A simple place, a shield from draft. At this stand wield mage's craft, so fierce the sea will boil. I had a tendency to overthink this, so I just ended up looking it up. So the first place this riddle directs us to is the Windward Ruins. It is southwest of Dawnstar, and it's right along the road, so you can't miss it. There's not really much to it, there's no dungeon. All you must do is find the pedestal, set the book on top of it, and cast a fire spell on it, and that will unlock the next riddle. Under Greybeard's morning shadow, at northern watch long last, Nirn's hoary throat does scrape the sky. Here unleash a chilling cry, and gild this stand with frost. This one was a bit easier to understand. The place is North Skybound Watch. It is southwest of High Hrothgar, still in the mountains, and I believe it's also visible from Riverwood if you look east. Repeat the same process as the last, find the pedestal, but this time cast a frost spell on it, unlocking the final riddle. Over western river waters, like hearth bounded south and north, on mountains sits a humble crown. Sky's wrath on this stand bring forth, to shake these snow caps down. This last location is in the Reach, a place called Fourskull Lookout. It is directly east from Markarth, across the river and up the mountains. I believe it's southeast of Karthwasten too, if you know where that is. Put the book on the last pedestal, cast a shock spell on it, read the book again, and you will be rewarded Firestorm, one of the 3 master destruction spells. I had max destruction perks at this point, so your results may vary. But Firestorm is the area of effect burst damage attack, Blizzard is a damage over time area of effect, and Lightning Storm is a channeled attack that does high damage over time to whatever you're pointing at. Mastering Illusion is next. Find Drevis Naloran and ask him what else there is to learn about illusion. He will tell you that there are 4 books scattered throughout the college that only a trained illusionist is able to see. To find said books, he gives you a spell called Vision of the 10th Eye, which is of course the only way those books will appear, so you might want to hotkey it. For the first one, you don't have to look far. If Drevis was in the Hall of Countenance, this first book is on the 2nd floor in the storage room on top of a barrel. The second book is in the Hall of Attainment, also on the 2nd floor, in front of the stairwell next to or under a bench. The third book is in the Arcanium. Find a table on the left that has the Legend of Red Eagle on it, and the book should be right next to it. The fourth and final book is in the Midden, underneath the College of Winterhold. In the Midden, find the Atronach Forge, and on the table in front of it is the 4th book. Go back to Drevis and give him all 4 books, and he rewards you with Hysteria, which is an area of effect fear spell. Also available for purchase is Call to Arms, which improves combat skills, health, and stamina of allies for 10 minutes, Mayhem, which causes everything in the area of effect to attack everything, and Harmony, which turns everybody in your vicinity into pacifists, each of them useful in different situations. For the Restoration Ritual quest, you had to have met the Augur of Dunlane beforehand, as he is part of this one. Find Colette Marantz, the one that complains a lot, and she explains that to master Restoration completely, you must speak to the Augur of Dunlane. There's a back way into the Midden inside the Hall of Countenance at the bottom of the stairs. Go and meet with the Augur, but he says that you must pass a test before he can give you what you seek. This test is a little different as it relies completely on your skill, not on your gear, not on your potions. When you tell him you are ready, he will open a portal to you which takes you to a room identical to the one that you were in, at which point you must survive for a few minutes. Ghosts will begin to spawn which cannot be damaged, so essentially you just must keep yourself alive. If your sneak is pretty high, you can bypass this part pretty easily. Either way, after a few minutes, the Augur appears again, and you are given Bane of the Undead. This sets undead in the immediate vicinity on fire and forces them to flee for 30 seconds. If you return to Colette, you can buy Guardian Circle from her, which repels undead and heals the caster. Great for those overwhelming situations. There's all 5 ritual quests within 8 minutes. Congrats to you first-timers. Now for some tips. Casting master spells makes you extremely vulnerable to physical attacks. If you have attained the Become Ethereal Shout, just the first word of this shout will allow you enough time to cast a spell unhindered. Also, when your spell is ready to be unleashed and your enemies have gone out of range, you can quickly tap the attack button again or switch to another spell to stop yourself from casting, conserving your magicka when you catch up with your enemy. Here comes the outro. If you guys liked this video or found it useful, give me a comment or some thumbs, and thanks so much for watching. Best of luck on your future quests.